I think there's also products getting thrown at us every
You
single
don't know
day.
which products.
You don't know what to do.
No.
TikTok is a crazy wild, wild west. I'm getting blown up with stuff. Try this, try this, try this.
It's so
the
hard.
Korean skincare, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't think people really know where to start with doing that.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Christina Rahm, and I am here with Carla Pesono.
Pesono.
We practiced it because I told her I had a speech impediment, which most people don't know about me, but my company does. So like when I used to work in pharma and biotech, even saying oncologist, I would be onecologist. And so I'd have to work on it. So thank you for working with me on the pronunciation.
Oh my gosh, it's no problem at all. I used to do that. Like I felt like when I was at the end of my news anchor days, I started like being dyslexic. So, you know, like saying different words and stuff. It's all good.
Well, I love, we have this connection with food. I'm big into food. I actually went back to Cornell and studied nutrition. Even though I was in the pharmaceutical industry, I felt like nutrition was such a key to everything I did. And then I got more into supplements and nutraceuticals, understanding that we have to reverse the GMOs in food and in plants because the GMOs attack our body. You are doing things in that area, and you had your own show. You have a podcast now. You were on television. You've really lived this amazing life, and you decided to really put your mission and your focus on food. Can you tell me what that came from and where this passion developed in your life?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like if someone told me, 15 years ago, like, Carla, you're going to be this like food personality down south, like I'd be like, huh? Like it never was like on my mind. I went to school for broadcasting. I thought I was going to be on the Today Show. But growing up in an Italian household, food was everywhere, right? We love food.
Oh yeah.
And then I lived in Chicago. I went to school there, and I was a concierge. So I was like picking people's itineraries and sending people to different restaurants. And Chicago really brought out the my passion for this food.
Wow.
And the culture and everything.
Did you like Chicago?
I love Chicago.
I love Chicago too. That's why I asked, because some people don't. I loved it.
I loved it. I wouldn't go back. Like I wouldn't live there, I think, again.
Do you like it better than New Orleans?
No, I like New Orleans way better.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, just the culture and I can't do cold anymore. I'm from Buffalo, New York, and the second I left, I was like, I'll never go back. The further south I got, I'm like, I'm not going to go back.
But you maintained this passion for food, and now you've developed it. So how did you get into actually broadcasting from Chicago? Do you know what I mean? How did you transition into this world?
Yeah, so I went to school for broadcasting. Yeah. I worked at WGN, and then I actually first became a weather anchor, news anchor, reporter. Yes, so I covered
Did you
weather.
like that?
Weather.
I've always wondered what those people do because they're pointing and.
It's so funny because Paul Conrad, he's still there to this day. He's the morning meteorologist at WGN, and I was like, "Can I please do it real quick? I want to get this for my reel just in case I become a weather anchor." Because my teachers all told me that I should do it. I get in front of the green screen. That first take landed me my first job. For some reason, I'm very natural in front of the green screen.
You're great. Like I'm just telling you, you're a natural. Yeah, talking to you. That's fantastic. No, really. So you went from the weather. You liked it?
Yeah, I liked it, but it wasn't passion of mine, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to become a scientist. I didn't want to become a meteorologist. And so I always knew I loved food. So I always had a food segment, and it was called Carla's Kitchen, and I would feature hidden gems. And I would, every station I worked at, which were 3, I would have this segment. And I'm like, if I could just cover food, because I was obsessed with like Food Network and Guy Fieri and Bobby Flay and Ina Garten. Like I loved them, but they were chefs or just on TV personalities that were cooking in the kitchen. And I was like, but I just want to be more of like Guy Fieri, where I'm just going around and featuring different spots. And I just took that with me, and I was able to do it on my own. And I've been doing it now for almost 3 years.
Wow. Do you enjoy doing it on your own? Do you miss it? I'm asking this personally. I'm interested because I worked for corporate America, and then I became an entrepreneur. Which do you like that best?
Oh my gosh. I'm like, I pinch myself every day that I get to live this life. Like it's a dream. I literally get to be myself every single day and get paid to do it and get the love from the community because it's I love them, they love me, and we're working together, and I feel so fulfilled in that, and I just keep growing my brand with every step. Like I just started my podcast, and I love the health space too. So maybe one day I'm going to do something more with that.
You need to do something with me.
Yeah, we do need to do something.
Honestly, because I literally, like we're doing this event I was telling you about in Quebec, and we're bringing in people that are interested in health, but that have a space in the food industry.
Yeah.
Either they're chefs or they teach about nutrition. And then we'll have to put this podcast also on Under the Red Chandelier. We have a podcast that shows the food industry, the art industry, musicians, that goes along with everything else. So you have people that follow us all over the world as we show different things like that.
When is the event?
The event, I think, Stephanie, it's in August. Sorry,
August.
Yeah, I have to ask Stephanie.
Good, so it's still warm.
Yes.
Well, sorry,
have you been to Quebec?
I've never been. No.
You would love it. As far as the food, I mean, I think there's great food there. There's lots of art. There's a lot of great things in Quebec.
Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so crazy because the number one thing when we talk about health and food and all that I get asked is, Carla, how do you not weigh 500 pounds? Because I literally eat for a living. Like after this, I have to go eat a fish fry with mac and cheese and everything.
What?
And
You couldn't even get in a restaurant last night, Stephanie. I was like,
You guys
we should have been calling you and asking you.
I totally would have brought you guys food.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm constantly around it, and it's not the healthiest food, right?
But it's good.
But it's so good, and it's like, how do you maintain the weight? And I'm still having struggles with that. But I believe in a lot of sleep, a lot of water, supplements, and working out. Yeah,
you look great. We were talking about NAD earlier. That's the thing about a NAD, and people do an IV. They can do shots. We have at the Root Brands, there's a powder formula that basically lasts up to 2 years. So you take it in the morning or at night, and it helps the mitochondria and telomeres, speeds up the metabolism so you can eat more, do more. It's attaching to the body to make it work like you were when you were 18.
Wow.
Which is phenomenal. A lot of the products I've worked on are centered on that because I understood as I was aging, I didn't want to gain weight. I wanted to control what was going on in my body. The cells need to be cleaned. I'm like you. I grew up in you didn't grow up in the South. I grew up in the South.
Yeah.
And so for me, I always ate fried food.
Totally.
And to this day, when I go home and I'm with my mother, I mean, I probably gained 5 pounds because I love her food. And it's, here too in New Orleans, I think I've had 3 or 4 shrimp po' boys.
Which is good.
You think I'm joking, but I think I'm serious. I mean, I'm serious.
No, I get it.
And I don't typically eat bread. But there's something about a po' boy I can't, and crab claws and bushwhackers, and I could go on and on. The South has it all.
Oysters.
Oh my gosh! What's your favorite restaurant here? You probably can't. Can you tell me?
I can't really give that, because there's so many, and it depends what you're looking for. But if I had 2 restaurants that you need to dine at for dinner, I would go to Zazu or I would go to Lilette, Lilette's actually right down the street from where we are.
So it's really good. Yeah,
they're fantastic. Zazu just got the Michelin star.
Oh wow!
But Lilette, that's actually where this doesn't matter, but that's where Taylor Swift dined when she was here for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I always loved that restaurant well before.
What do you
Taylor
love
Swift.
about it?
It's just fantastic. The chefs at both restaurants every dish is perfect. You could get fish, you could get steak. Lilette has this gnocchi dish that is fantastic, and this escargot dish that I absolutely love. But those restaurants are places that does not matter what you order, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, every bite is just unreal.
Oh my goodness, we need to get in there.
Yes, you do.
I'm looking at. I know I keep mentioning Stephanie's name, but
the restaurants here, there's just so many.
But there's so many. I was going to say, used to. You know what upset me? I came the year right when New Orleans opened because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. I missed, I lived in Mobile for 12 years, so I missed New Orleans. I missed Mobile. So right when things were starting to open, I brought the kids here. The problem was almost everything was closed. Yeah. And then I noticed that some of my favorite restaurants here, because I lived and went to college, undergrad and graduate school at South Alabama, I'm like, a lot of them are closing. Yeah. But now I think they have a lot of new ones that
we have so many new ones. Like people are like, oh my God, all these places are closing. And I'm like, a lot of the places that closed, I'm happy they're closed because we have so many new ones. We have all these great new hotels being built with beautiful pools that we could all hang out at.
I love that.
Which we need that. I mean, we're in the South and it's hot,
I love this mission that you have because it also brings people happiness. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of stuff going on. And to have things that are beautiful or taste good or that bring people back to we are human and we can enjoy part of life, I think it's a gift. I think any society where you lose that, you lose really your culture and who you are. So I love what you're doing.
Yeah,
I think it's very important.
Well, you know, when you love New Orleans loves you back.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed to be part of this community that it's welcomed me, this Buffalo girl, with open arms, and that I get to do what I love. And everything I do is happiness, right? Yeah. So it's fun to just be able to do it every day.
I've heard so many people say that if you love New Orleans, it loves you back. Explain that to me.
Well, New Orleans she's a tough chick, and she goes through a lot of seasons and crazy weather, and we have, you know, crime, and we have people that they don't, excuse my language, they don't take any shit. Like, it's kind of like being in New York City.
Yep.
And I think that's another reason why I relate to it so much. And, you know, it's a blue collar city and everyone knows everyone. So if you screw up, the word's going to get around.
Yeah.
So I just think that, but that's the thing. You have the potholes, you have bad infrastructure. We had a poorly run government that if you though love it and you embrace the culture, embrace it all, that she's going to take care of you.
Yeah, I love that. I lived in Mobile, which is very different than New Orleans. I know they have similarities. Mobile had the first Mardi Gras.
Yeah, that's true.
It is true, but New Orleans is really what put it on the map.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I always love New Orleans. There's a lot of Southern culture in Mobile, but there's a lot of really grit.
Yes.
And there's a lot of really toughness. And I believe to make it in life, you got to have that grit and toughness. I love the elegance. I think it's amazing. You don't have that grit. Speaking as a female, we're going to get into this for a second. As an entrepreneur that's also a scientist who loves food like you, but I'm not an expert like you are, it takes a lot of grit to do your own career, to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Tell me what that transition was like for you.
So when I got out of television, I ended up becoming the creative director for the global fitness brand Hotworks.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
I am familiar.
So you work out inside of an infrared sauna, and it was there that I really learned about marketing and building a brand like on a global level and making content for that and working with a team in a different direction. Because before that, I only knew television. So I had TV, I had marketing, I put it together. And when I was ready, I said, all right, I'm going off and I'm going to do my own thing. Actually, it was the Gordon Ramsay's show, MasterChef, invited me out to be on the show in LA. And
oh my gosh, I love that show.
Yeah, that was the reason why I quit. I was like, okay, this is my reason.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quit. It doesn't matter what the outcome of the show is. It's a TV show. Who cares? But it was like, all right, this pushed me out the door. I'm going to go to LA, do the show, come back and hit the ground running. And it sounds so scary. And there were times throughout that first year where I was like, oh my God, am I going to make it? But I have so much confidence in what I'm doing that I truly never worried. Like I was always, and I think that's the most important thing that any entrepreneur could attest to, is that once you stay in your purpose and you truly feel fulfilled, the world supplies for you.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
You don't have to worry.
No. Once you actually are following your mission, your passion, your vision, it's like it comes to you. You know,
and that impact just goes. It's bigger than you can even imagine, and I'm just getting going. And so are you.
It is. But I will say this to people because I want people to know this. It's not always easy.
No.
People that don't have the grit to stick with it are not. You can't be an entrepreneur because it's not. I've gone through the last probably 9 months. It's been extremely hard. There's always a way up and the way down. And to the public, you're having to show just calmness. And like one of my friends, Dr. Fernando Diaz, always says, you have to act like a swan and pedal fast underneath.
Yes, that's good.
He goes, Christina, act like a swan. Just pedal as fast as you can underneath. Because you really can't show people the stress. But if you're someone that just quits or you can't take the tough times, it just doesn't work.
Totally.
And and I don't think it makes someone a bad person at all. It's just that everyone's so different.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. For me, I'm single. I got no kids. I don't really have any like stresses. I'm healthy. So like knock on wood, like, I think that's what keeps me going because I don't have anything else going on.
Yeah.
But of course, when that stuff goes on, you still got to go on camera.
Oh, you
Or maybe
do.
you're sick. I still have to go on camera that day.
There's no option.
There's no option.
No.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely not for the weak. But yeah, I don't know. You ask all my friends, are like, Carla, you're a workaholic. I don't know how you're so motivated. That's what everyone tells me. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting, motivated. But I think it's the motivation comes with the action I'm putting in, and I feel fulfilled when I do it. So it keeps me going.
Yeah, I used to be a psychologist before I became a scientist. That was my focus. And
you were just a badass woman all around.
Well, no, I wasn't. I was trying to be, but it was.
You are.
So it was interesting. As a psychologist, I had to go to counseling throughout my program, and I was continuously diagnosed as a workaholic and continuously diagnosed as trying to achieve these goals. And that was a part of who I was. And finally, I said to one of the counselors, who was also, my professor was involved, I said, tell me how bad this is. And they said, well, with your personality, you're going to be addicted to something. So you would be, because you are focused on what you want to do, and your passion is to help people. So it's not bad, but you need to understand where the balance is. So that's probably my biggest struggle, is balance. However, I wouldn't give up the passion to help people in order to basically, I wouldn't change that. Like if you ask me, I would like to balance more taking like a day before or a day after, which we're going to do. We're going to go to the Grand Hotel after this to experience the food, to take a break. And that's what I'm learning right now.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you an example. If you go to a restaurant that you love, you should be able, not just because of your podcast, but to go back and enjoy it.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Totally.
So that's what I'm learning at my age. I hope you learn it earlier than me because you're younger than me. And I think it's important that you take that time to enjoy part of what your mission is and your passion, just from a viewpoint as a human. Do you know what I mean?
It's that's so funny you bring that up, because it's so true. It's like every time I'm somewhere, it's like, I should film this. I need to film this. But so many times the chefs are like, just Carla, stop it, just eat. Like, don't worry about
that's
filming.
what I mean. Sometimes you just need to eat,
or
you just need to enjoy. Yeah. So when do you do that?
It's so rare. It's so rare. I don't even remember the last time I read a book or like just, took a walk without my phone. Like, I need to do that more. The downtime for myself, like, is really important, I know. And I know I need to do that.
because basically your passion is really helping people understand food and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I feel like even for me, my health took second. So you'll understand this. How am I a scientist that's teaching health and wellness? It's getting ready to be 180 countries by March. Wow. How am I doing that and not taking care of myself? I had a health crisis last year because I wasn't paying attention and some stuff happened. If you ask, why would I not be focusing? Because you get so caught up in helping others or showing others, sometimes you forget that you're part of that mission and focus too.
Yeah, totally. But I will say, like, I've monetized my lifestyle. So like the stuff that I love and truly get to enjoy, I'm being paid to do it.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. So I would like, it's like I'm such a social butterfly. So I get all that. And that's why this summer, like the summers is so hot here in New Orleans that I travel. Like I'll go to Europe or I'll go wherever. I don't know what my trip is this year.
Do you do podcasts when you're doing that? Do you integrate that in?
Well, I just started my podcast only a couple months ago. I've only done 6 episodes. So I don't know what's going to happen. Like hopefully I'm going to be shooting season 2 here soon. But yeah, I want to do more travel blogging. But then it goes back to when I'm traveling, I'd rather just travel. I don't want to work.
Enjoy it.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say, because we have traveled, oh my gosh, one year I was not even hardly in the United States because we were growing in different countries. We launched one of our brands the month COVID hit. And so we really, to even get packaging, to produce products, to travel was hard. Do you know what I mean? But it kind of, the world, what you said earlier, it opens up to you if you're following your passion. And things fell into place. Prime ministers and presidents reached out to me, the governments did, to consult on different projects, and then we were able to also bring the brands in. So we went from one country to 26 and now, 70, 80, and we're going to 180. Wow. So the reason is I followed that passion, but I'm learning, okay, I can go to that country, but I need to enjoy at least a day there or a night there without having to film something, without being on, without having pictures, because I owe that to myself.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Let me ask you something. What are the top 3 things women can do to keep themselves healthy?
So top 3 things, from my perspective, things have changed a lot. So you've got to clean out the inside of your body, which is why the basis of the line I developed was cleaning it out, because I'm big into anti-aging, reversal of aging, remediation of the skin, hair. Because as you age, if you don't want to do Botox, if you don't want to do all these things that some women do and some women don't, you've got to clean the cells out so that you are not aging quickly, right?
And when you say clean out, do you mean like start with your gut, or what?
Yeah, you start with your gut, but I developed a product, for example, that has silica and water and vitamins and minerals, which sounds very simple, but I did it in a path where it will go into the body and help you clean, just like you brush your teeth or you take a bath, because I understood that we have heavy metals. For example, even the shots that people get, even though I was one of the scientists that have worked on different things throughout my career, you don't want a bunch of heavy metals in your body. You don't want viruses and bacteria. So cleaning that out as part of the process is something we haven't really been taught. The science medical community doesn't talk about that either. So I feel like one of the most important things is, and one of the ways that you detox is taking trace minerals, drinking water. You've got to really reset the body. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not huge into chelation therapies and different things that are stripping the body. So instead, I've really focused on how do we clean the body naturally, as natural as possible, put the silica back in the body and the water. I don't know if you know this, the land, air, and water. So our world has the same amount of water and silica as our bodies. How fascinating is that?
Wow.
I know. And so like our land, air, and water has been stripped, which is why some of our food isn't as good, because we have GMOs, we have things that are everywhere. You got to clean it out. So I'm one of the scientists that's focused on that in my career, not just in the human body, but in the land, air, and water. So I think detoxing the body is so important, or cleaning the body. Just like if you didn't take a bath for 20 years, don't you think you might need a bath?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just hasn't been part of our culture. So that's really one of my missions.
Well, I think there's also products getting thrown at us every
You
single
don't know
day.
which products.
You don't
No.
know what to do.
No.
TikTok is a crazy wild, wild west. I'm getting blown up with stuff. Try this, try this, try this.
It's so
The
hard.
Korean skincare, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't think people really know where to start with doing that.
They don't, and I understand that. It's like when I come to you to where should I eat, when you ask me that question, I understand.
That's a loaded question.
It's a loaded question, because this is my world. Like, this is what I do. Going back to your question though, sleep is extremely important, which is something I'm not great at, but for your body as a female, even to handle the stress and your job, people do not understand the morbidities and comorbidities that happen when you don't sleep. Even the compounding factors of cancer and diabetes and obesity, because your body requires that sleep. And most women really need 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And the problem is, when you're high powered, are you really getting 8 hours? If you're checking your phone or it's by your bed. I mean, I have Joy was with last night. She was like, is your phone on? And I want my phone to be off, but I knew I needed to check at least once during the night.
Yeah.
And when I don't, I feel like I failed. But when I do, I'm failing myself. Does that make sense? Because I'm not sleeping. So it's so important. And then water is one of your best friends. Yeah. But the problem is, and you know this, water is not always clean. So choosing the right water is extremely important, and not having plastic. But the problem is, almost all the water that we buy are in plastic.
I always carry around a 40-ounce of reusable thermos that I just fill with water.
Do you sleep?
Have this company. Oh, I sleep great. Last night I got 10 hours.
What?
I have an Oura ring, so it really keeps me in check. But there's this company out of the North Shore of New Orleans called Stealth Water. Are you familiar?
I don't think so.
It's one of those like electrolyzed machines with like the
titanium plates.
Yes, like there's Cognin water.
Yeah.
This is called Stealth, and I partner with them because it's local, and that's the only water I drink, and my dog. So I'm trying to be on top of that. So I
like that
you're
doing your dog. Yeah, no, you know what? We have an animal brand, and I say this to people all the time.
This is so funny. So my dog, I can't even show you a photo. Every time he's around, everyone's like, how old is he? Like, they think he's 1. I'm like, he's 10 and a half. They're like, no.
I have to see a picture later.
He's amazing.
I ended up, when I developed, because I love animals. So we have 3 dogs and we have 2 cats at our house, but we also have a farm with animals.
Wow, I'm so jealous. One day I'll have that.
And I have to tell you, when I developed developed that brand, I used human grade ingredients, and people were like, why are you doing that? I go, because their bodies deserve to have the best nutrition just like ours do. And the problem is with most pet brands, they're using pet grade, animal grade, which is not as high as human grade ingredients. Yeah.
Wait, so you have
it's called Bell and Coo. Yeah, it's
a
animal
food?
brand. It's a supplement brand.
Supplement.
It provides greens. It also provides collagen, like their bones, their ligaments, everything. Animals really need support, and animals actually have more cancer than humans. Animals are really reactive to the environment, and people don't understand that. So I created a greens formula to help, because there's certain ingredients that will stop the progression of cancer and you have to be careful with nutraceuticals, you can't make claims, but it basically cuts off the signaling. And there's certain greens, like there's spirulina, there's there's all kinds of stuff like that. I use chlorella, chlorophyll, and ingredients to really stop that. With animals, for example, beets are one of the things that can really impact their diet and make them healthier. So, and I created a detox brand to help the dogs get rid of the toxins in their body.
Is it a pill or is it like a powder you put on the food?
I have a liquid, I have a powder that we put on the food. So everything is liquid or powder. So your dogs, because dogs don't like to eat pills and stuff. No, so it's
no. You gotta shove it down their throat.
Well, you gotta try. Well, mine you try to hide it in their food because we do all that.
They'll never do it. My
it
dog
doesn't
won't
work.
do
They're
it.
like spitting it
they
out.
swim it up. They eat around it.
You're like trying to shove it down their throat.
Yeah.
So
how do you have time to make all these products? I feel like you've made products for every single thing.
I just made a horrible face when I did that. I own the majority of the manufacturing, and so it's easier. But I will tell you, it's harder the more I've traveled and the more even the brand has grown, because it does take time. But my background was in the science industry for so many years. So like I focus on the reversal of anything toxic in any kind of food or any kind of plant or seed. And then I focus on the bioavailability and safety and efficacy. I'm really not a scientist that's great at like the taste factor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like that's not my expertise. I'm being honest, because people think, for example, if you're a chef or you're in food, you can cook everything, right? And the truth is you have areas you're the best at. So I'll bring in a consultant or I'll have someone else help me. And then we're sourcing from all over the world. Because the truth is, like I use a pine bark and a velvet bean that we can't get in this country.
Totally, yeah.
I have to go to either Africa or India, right? Because I'm using part of the vine or the plant. It's a product we have called Zero In. It helps with focus and performance. It helps with sexual performance. It helps with working out, cognitive performance. And I had to source those from different places. And so I would say a lot of the heavy lifting on what I've done has been, I'm older, right? So it's happened over years of experience. It's kind of like if you do something for so many years, it's not like you have to think about it as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it is hard because right now I'm in the path of training other people, which I think is one of the hardest things for me as a scientist to do.
Oh yeah, I think training is so hard.
It's so hard.
But that's amazing.
Yeah.
I could ask you a million questions about food and everything. And
what's your favorite food?
Pizza probably.
Oh my gosh, I want the pizza. Do you make
pizza pasta? I don't make the dough, but I can make a good pizza.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, pizza, like Italian food is my favorite.
What's your favorite thing to make?
Probably gnocchi. Like
you can make
gnocchi. Yeah, it's super simple. Italian food is like the simplest food to make because it's always just a few ingredients.
You would make my kids so happy right now because their favorite, they love Italian food. Yeah, they do. But I am not. I always say this, I'm not a baker. My mother is. I love to cook, but I'm not good at baking.
Yeah, baking's hard. What's your favorite food?
Okay, I love Italian food. I love Mexican food.
Oh, I love Mexican.
I love Mexican. Listen, I've told you, I know you don't know, so I don't eat bread. I have had 3 shrimp po' boys. I don't.
Wait, so why don't you eat bread?
I have a gluten sensitivity.
Oh, you have a gluten sensitivity.
But for some reason, I think my body's not acknowledging it here.
Are you? How is your gut feeling?
I feel great.
Is it the supplements you're taking too?
I think it's because my husband's not here.
They'll do it.
No, I love you.
No stress.
I think stress is a
dude. The stress. When I was in TV, no, listen to this. When I was in TV for 8 years, I was like, "There's something wrong with me." I would go to all these gastroenterologists, and they're like, "You're fine. You're normal." I was like, "Then why do I look like I'm 6 months pregnant and I have to be in front of the green screen in a tight dress?" I was like, "There's something wrong with me." I was backed up. All that. The second I quit news, gone.
I think it is directly stress related, but no one will listen to me. I think I think my friends are listening to me because I'm like, listen,
well, I could test to that.
Why am I okay right now when I could never do this if I were back home? Does that make sense? I can't figure it out. I think maybe I need to move to New Orleans.
It's that good water. We got that good water and bread, that French bread.
How do they make those? But what is in the po' boys? Are they flour?
Where'd you get it from?
Ritz-Carlton.
Okay, so I wonder what bread. They might be using dongfang. They could be using.
Are they putting flour in it?
Well, yeah. I mean, the bread.
That's what I know. So why am I eating it?
I don't know, girl.
So you need to come up with
you
need to come up with an anti-stress diet, and that we all have because and basically honestly, it's just get rid of stress.
I really think it's you got to get sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the sleep, water, and just truly being happy. I mean, think about like when you're in love, when the first time you meet someone and you're like in love, how you're just glowing.
It's amazing.
And you feel amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you replicate that every day?
I know. I think you
you're the scientist, so you tell us. Isn't it something that just gets released in our body?
Yes.
That is like,
the chemicals that are released. Like when you're stressed, you're releasing a whole different type of chemical interaction, seriously, between the cells. And if your cells can't manage that because it goes directly against you, then something happens physically. And so I love my job. I love what I do. I do love my husband. I do, but he's high impact and there's always a lot of stress with what we do. So I think when I come to a place like this where you do have real people, where you do get to take a break and enjoy and eat. Now, we did not choose the best restaurant, Stephanie, last night. I'm not going to name the name. So tonight we have to choose something different.
Okay.
But I would love to have you to Nashville. So if you're there, we'll do a podcast there. Yes. We'll talk about other things. And then I would love for you to give your top 3 advice on how to choose a restaurant in a town.
Ooh.
I know you already said that question.
Number 1, go on Instagram and literally search best restaurants in the city.
Okay.
And search the hashtags as well, and then see what pops up and like what really popular reels. Go on eater.com and see what was ranked.
Eater.
James Beard. Go to the James Beard Award winning and Michelin Guide. Michelin Guide isn't
I
like.
don't always love Michelin restaurants.
I agree.
Why is that?
But it's like these people don't necessarily know, and what are they doing it based off of? But for the most part, it's a pretty decent list. So just look at it all and then talk to the locals. When you're out at a bar, hey guys, where's your favorite spot? What's your favorite dinner spot? What's your favorite brunch? And then
I ask, where do I get crab claws? Where do I get bushwhackers?
Bushwhackers here?
You guys don't have them.
So
I used to have them in college.
We got to go to Floribama, girl.
Oh, I love Floribama. Oh my gosh, it's my favorite. My kids have even been there, and my kids were like, "Why are all these bras and underwear hanging from the ceiling?" And I mean, they're little kids. They've been there many times. I'm like,
"You're like, sweetie, that's my bra."
When I was in college, I didn't say that.
I know that
because they were like, "This is so weird, Mom." And then get this. My second son, I don't know. I'm not going to mention which son. One of my sons came home during the pandemic, and I walked into his room, and it looked like Floribama. And I said, "What's going on here?" And he said, "Remember the place that you took us to? I wanted it to look like that." And I go, "No, we're not going to do that here."
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, actually down the street, Red Dog Diner does really good frozen drinks. I'm trying to think of the other bushwhacker you could get.
You can get them downtown, but we'll talk. We'll keep in touch. And I'm going to Fairhope to the Grand Hotel, and they have all around there. They have great.
Yeah.
And Seaside does and all those. Do you go down to all those places from here?
Seaside.
Rosemary Beach, Seaside.
You know what? Not much.
Yeah.
I need to.
It's okay. I like Fairhope and Mobile better, to be honest, in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to give me the recommendations.
I'll get your number from Stephanie and I'll be in contact with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Where do we find you? So I want to make sure that they find you.
It's just Carla Pesono, CarlaPesono. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. TikTok, it's Carla's Kitchen _ and then the podcast is Say More with Carla Pesono, and you could watch it on YouTube or listen anywhere you get your podcasts.
Awesome. So tune in. I enjoyed seeing you today and talking to you. Thank you so much.